Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to jump right in. Have you noticed that in relationships you may lean more towards being wanted than needed? Do you feel more comfortable if you're providing something to the relationship, be it materialistic, emotionally, maybe financially, and that makes you feel safer in the relationship versus the person simply just wanting to be around you, wanting to share space with you? The person may just simply enjoy your presence and that makes you feel unsafe. Let's talk about it, friend. I know for me, when I would embark upon new relationships before I did my work, I would look at dependency as a way to secure a thing. Like, let me find ways to show up for them and kind of create a level of dependency on me. And that way, I know that, we locked in because I've created this dependency. After self reflecting and going through therapy and reading and journaling and all the things, I realized that I would use over functioning as a way to prove that I'm worth being with. I would overfunction emotionally. I would take on my partner's problems. If they're having a bad day, I'm now having a bad day because I have to figure out how to make them feel better. I would try to overfunction in every way. Emotionally, I would overfunction financially, spending money I don't have to make sure that they have what they need. I would overfunction with name something. And if you don't know what overfunctioning is, it's basically when you're trying to earn love instead of just sitting back receiving it because you know you deserve it. It was the epitome of codependence. Their problems became my problems. And whether they wanted to fix them or not was none of my concern. I just needed to make their life better some kind of way. Because if I didn't, then what use am I? If I'm not meeting a need, then why would they stay? Like, if I'm doing enough, maybe they won't leave. And that's a really unhealthy way to build a relationship, to call yourself trying to build a healthy relationship when you're starting out with dependency as one of the main pillars. That's not going to be a healthy situation. You need two secure people who have learned how to meet their needs to come together. You do not want to build a relationship off of dependency because it's going to make for an unhealthy dynamic from the start. I felt valuable because I was holding things together. I felt like the person is going to stay because I'm doing A, B, C, D, E, F, and G through Z. I was picking up things that weren't my responsibility. I was apologizing for things I didn't do wrong. I was taking accountability for their mishaps and their missteps. And that is not a healthy relationship. You do not want to be in a relationship where you're needed more than you're wanted. Naturally, as a relationship progresses, you will feel like, okay, yeah, I do need that. This person is meeting needs for me. Obviously, in relationships, needs are supposed to be getting met. However, there can be an unhealthy connection with meeting needs to the point where you feel like that's all you're supposed to do in order for a relationship to work out. And that's just not true. You should be able to just be yourself and still be desired. If you decide one day, I don't want to do this, you should not be given the silent treatment. It should not be repercussions and consequences to you choosing you. And the thing with being wanted, that requires trust and vulnerability. Two very scary things for someone who has dealt with fear of abandonment. You mean I gotta trust and be vulnerable off the rip because this person just wants me? Like, it has to be a catch or something, right? It's no way. And you just have to trust it. It's like, I'm not creating a dynamic of dependency. We're creating a dynamic of two secure, healthy, whole people coming together who really enjoy each other. And that is enough. Be for real. That's how I used to feel. Like, they doing something. They gotta be doing something. There's no way you that locked in just off of wanting somebody. But it's true. It's possible. It can happen. And if you want it to be a healthy relationship, that's really what you need. I know right now a lot of content creators who like give people dating advice and stuff like that. They're saying that, oh, this person needs to come in doing this and doing that. That can create an unhealthy dynamic if you're not careful. It's okay for a person to express love and be thoughtful and kind and generous. But there's also relationships where people come in hot like that because they're trying to create this dynamic where you're dependent on them. And there's a such thing as healthy dependence and unhealthy dependence. If you haven't checked out my hyper independence video, I did touch on that quite a bit. But it's okay to let your partner know that you need help with something and you need them for, can you show up for me here? I could really use help here. But it's a whole nother thing for you not to be able to function if they don't do something. That's an unhealthy level of dependence. And some people use that because it makes them feel more secure about the connection or the relationship that they're building. But trust me, you want to be wanted, not needed. When someone needs you, you feel like you have leverage. But when someone just wants you, you have to believe that you're enough without overextending yourself. Without burning yourself out, you have to believe that you are enough. You're enough. Now, honesty, another thing I would do when considering a partner or a person to be with, and this is on me. Like I'm taking the L throughout this whole video. I'm not judging anybody who has gone about building relationships using any of these unhealthy ways. I'm talking about me, okay? I realized that I was picking people I could help. I wasn't necessarily picking people that were on the same level or higher level than me. And when I say level, I'm not just talking about financially. I'm also talking about I wasn't picking people that were as emotionally mature as me, as intellectual as me, as open to growth and change as me, open to trying new things as me. I was not picking people who were on my level or higher because it felt safer to kind of, this gonna sound bad, but to date down because it felt like, okay, I'm good here. Like, of course, this person is not gonna, leave because, yeah, why would they do that? And that's pretty jacked up, to be honest. Thinking about it, that's really jacked up. Like, you're dating down so you can meet your own insecurity needs. Like, that's pretty sucky. Don't let that be the reason why you're picking a person. It's like they can't do any better than me, so this is who I'm rolling with. Those will be the very people to take you through there. By choosing people who didn't necessarily match me, it allowed me to stay in that role of overfunctioning and being needed. So it gave me a fake sense of security. If I was needed, then I didn't have to worry about being replaced. And at least not being replaced immediately. Like, they'll have a second thought about it because I'm needed here. I'm meeting needs. I'm showing up. I'm overextending. I'm overfunctioning. And nobody else is going to do that. Right? So I'm good. So I thought. And unfortunately, when a person needs you, being chosen, you don't even consider that. It's like, to be chosen is such a faraway concept for a person who operates like this, and I was that person. Being chosen didn't really even cross my radar. It's like, That's from movies. That doesn't happen in real life. People don't just choose people. They choose providers. They choose people who are going to babysit them. They choose, they choose people who doing something. They don't just choose you for you. And that is such a terrible way to look at it and function in relationship. I found myself choosing incompatibility because it felt safer. I would pick people who I knew weren't going to be compatible long term. It's like the very thing that I didn't want to happen was inevitable because I went into it knowing that this person long term is not going to, because we're already starting off at a deficit. We're not even on the same level. So long term, this has no way of working because I'm committed to growth and change and elevation. And if I'm coming in and it's already a gap, come on, girl, be for real. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't hurt as deeply. And that is a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard truth to accept. I have told the story to a few people that are closer to me, and I'm going to start sharing my story with you guys. But I've told people when they ask me, when did you know that your marriage wasn't going to work? And I tell people a lot of times it was a progressive discovery. It was like situations would happen that would confirm that, yeah, this is not it. Yeah, this is not it. There's no way this is it. But the very first time that I knew that my marriage was going to come to an end was the night I got married. That same night, I had the moment where I was like, this is not going to work. And it was really because I did not feel chosen. How ironic is that? I went into picking and deciding on this relationship for all the wrong reasons. Because I felt needed, because I felt like there was a gap, because I felt like, we're not on the same level. So of course, this person is not going to leave. They're going to stay. But then not being chosen was the moment where I realized, oh, wait, this is not going to be forever. And that was the night I got married. We went to the courthouse and got married. It was just me, him, my mom, and my two stepsisters. We did not have a lot of support the day we got married. And his parents shared that they would come to the real wedding. So they didn't show up either. When we finally made it to the hotel room that night after having dinner and all of that, we made it to the hotel room that night and I went into the bathroom because even though I was still kind of healing from delivery, because I had just had my son not too far from the day we got married, I was still healing from that. But I came out of the bathroom and he was in the bed sleeping, snoring, knocked out. Didn't want to talk, didn't want to cuddle, didn't want to make out, didn't want to do any of that. On the complete other side of the bed, sleep, knocked out, snoring. And at that moment, I just cried. And it was my wedding night. I just cried because it dawned on me that he didn't choose me. I wasn't being chosen. I was being settled for. Dang. And from that moment forward, for the next 7 years, I would be overfunctioning and trying to prove that I'm worth choosing, not just settling for. I spent the next 7 years doing the absolute most, taking responsibility for things I should have never taken responsibility for, trying to Iyanla fix his life. And that was not my job. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm not judging you if you've used any of these ways to build a relationship. If you've moved this same way, I'm sharing my story to let you know I get it. But moving forward, we're going to be chosen. We're going to be wanted. We're going to be cherished, adored, and not just needed. Right, friend? Right? So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so glad that you decided to press play today. I cannot wait to go on this journey with you guys. I'm going to start sharing more of my experiences, more of my stories. And I cannot wait to continue to build community. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you know a friend who needs to listen to this, send it to her now. Even if not to be shady or messy, but if you know someone who's about to get married or engaged, or they say I do tomorrow, send them this video, because we need to make sure that my girls is out here being chosen. And I know that was terrible English. But we all deserve to be wanted. We all deserve to be chosen, not just needed. We are not tools to be used and then disposed of. Okay? We deserve to be cared for, loved, and cherished. Amen. Peace.